What's happening? Can y'all hear me? Can everybody hear me fine? Is everything good in the building, family? Can y'all hear me this time? Hopefully we got it all together. Hopefully we got it all together, fam. What's good with it? How y'all doing, family? Can y'all hear me? Let's see if we can get that together. How's the audio, family? How's the audio? Welcome, welcome, welcome. You're now rocking with the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys. And we have intense, entertaining, educating, enlightening sport talk from your favorite sports family. Man, I tell you what, man, you can't say we ain't dedicated, fam. You know, we dealing with a little glitch here, and we trying to get it together, man. But we're trying some new software here, man, and good grief, man. I mean, it's just one of them things, family. But who that to my family out there as everybody comes streaming in to the live stream. Sorry about an hour late. Of course, we came out on time, but we had some issues with the software. So who that to you, Mike? What's up, Mike? Welcome to the show, brother. No sound, Big Q. Uh-oh. Got another problem. We have problems here today. We got problems. No sound. All right, family. You can hear it, but it's low. All right, let me see if I can boost it. How's that, family? Can y'all hear me now? Y'all give me a thumbs up if y'all can hear me. What's up, Evan? Very low, huh? Yep. I don't know what's going on with this. Might have to boost it a bit. Okay, family, how that sound? Does that sound okay? Is that all right? Can y'all guys hear me okay? I'm on notch 50, but I can hear you. You had to crank it up, huh? I don't know what's going on today, family. I hear you, but low. All right, Jermaine. Hold on here. Let me see if we can boost it up a bit here. You know, see if we can get it going here. All right. How's that sound, family? Is that better? Is that any better? All right. Okay, I kind of figured that was. All right. Can y'all guys hear me a lot better? Is that like a 80 or something like that? Okay. We're going to roll with it. All right, family. Let me get all comfortable like up in here, man. It's been a very interesting and issue-filled morning as we try to talk about our Saints. Must be some Falcon fans or Carolina Panthers fans and Tampa Bay Buccaneers fans running around up in here causing problems. Don't want us to talk to the family. Them damn Falcon fans, man. That's who's responsible. They don't want me to brief up with the family. But let me get my shots out to everybody in the building, man. All my family in the building. Elite Gods in the building. What's happening, family? What's going on with your friend? Who else we got here? Mike, who that to you, my friend? Gary from Alexandria. What's happening, my friend? How you doing? Evan is in the building after a couple of weeks, man, working on that house. Yeah. Crass, what's up, baby? I mean, I hope that's better. You said you got me on notch 50, so hopefully I boosted it up a bit. You can hear me a little bit better. Jermaine, what's good, baby? D Arlene's in the building. How you doing? And Carlos, what's happening, Carlos? Carlos, new to the stream. How you doing, friend? Welcome. Jerome is in the building. All my family members are trickling in. So thank you guys, man, for being patient with us as we had these issues with the technology, man. As you see, we trying a different platform here. But you know how it is sometimes, family. We gotta keep working until we get it right, you know. And that's pretty much what's going on here. So, um, Elite God says, but the God's energy is always blessed. That's right. And the gods ride with the saints. That's right. I like that. I like that. Demi, now that's funny. Q, how are you? I'm doing good, Demi. How you doing? Jermaine says, what's good? Who that? Who that, family? Well, this is what we're gonna talk today on the live stream. Live stream number 9, podcast 393. 393, family. Almost 400 podcasts or shows, man. Going into our 5th season coming up in middle August, man. And it's just big, man. I'm enjoying it, man. Love talking about my black and gold. Ain't no doubt about it, family. Adrian in the building. What's happening, baby? How you doing? Like I said, today on live stream 393, I ain't get a chance to do my traditional Saints thing when I do my welcome. You're now rocking with the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys. And we have intense, entertaining, and educating sport talk from your favorite sports family. I'm Big Q, if you don't know, and we are the #1 independent podcast on the Saints in the land. Thanks to you. Thanks to you, man. 5 years in the making of doing this thing, talking about the black and gold and everything under the sun, dealing with New Orleans, man. And it's glad to be here on this magnificent Saturday. Had a little rain here, family, but we out. The clouds is back. Then moved out the way. We got a little sun. But we're going to talk about some Saints for a couple of hours anyway. And what we're going to talk about on today's show, Saints training camp, day number 1 of the Saints training camp. We're going to go over it with the specifics and also signings. Of course, a few days ago, we covered it on the last podcast. We had a few signings. Of course, you know, the Ziggy Hood signing. We're going to go over that. And a couple of other signings, lowbrow signings, as I call them. You know, we're going to go over it. You know, I'm not really enthused by some of these other deals, but you know, you never know with some of these players. You get the opportunity to show off what they can do. So I'm not going to write nobody off right now, but we'll see. Also, I had some interviews I wanted to play by Coach Sean Payton and Drew Brees. We'll see if we can get them underway and play a few of them today as well. And, of course, we're going to talk about Mike Thomas, man. Mike Thomas's contract holdout. Mike said, man, I deserve a lot more money. And we're going to play. I'm going to just show you guys some old audio proof about why some of these guys shouldn't even be talking about the Saints. And I'm speaking this time around not by Maurice Jones-Drew, not about Nate Burleson, not about any of these clowns, the man with the child named Bucky Brooks. I can't insult him. I'm sorry, family. I know y'all want me to get on him, but I can't insult a man got a name like Bucky. I don't know what to do with that. Y'all will say I'm bullying the man, so I'm gonna just leave him alone. But this is the thing, though. We're gonna talk about Max Kellerman. Max Kellerman, what he said about Mike Thomas. And usually I'll listen to some of this stuff, and some of this stuff I just let it go, man. But this dude here, I'm gonna play it for y'all later on in the live stream so y'all can understand what kind of foolishness we doing out here. Going on out here with some of these people. It's amazing. I'm gonna play Max Kellerman for you about Mike, what he said about Mike Thomas and his money. And then I thought to myself, I said, they got Saints family out there that believe like this dude do. That's a shame. It's a shame. But the cold part about it is, if you watch it, he put up a graphic showing that the first 3 seasons, Mike Thomas had something ridiculous. Like he caught more passes than some of the best uh, people in the NFL. I mean, you had guys like Antonio Brown up there and DeAndre Hopkins up there, and he had Hopkins beat by 20 plus receptions in 3 years. He just been in the league for 3 years. 300 and let me see if I can get the exact number because I froze it.
What I see in Michael Thomas is
just so I can see exactly what kind of, and I'm gonna post it on the community channel because that's worth noting. Now this is the thing. This is NFL reception since 2016 for Mike Thomas. 321. 321 catches since 2016 for Mike Thomas. The closest man to him is Antonio Brown with 311 catches. And then the next man is DeAndre Hopkins. He ain't even in the 300s. 289. So it's only 2 people with 300 catches in the last 3 seasons. Now, that's the most by a player in 3 seasons in NFL history. The most. And they talking about, oh, well, that's too much money. Are you kidding? Odell Beckham ain't up there. Odell Beckham ain't catch that many passes. He make, what, 18 something, whatever it is. But they ain't worried about Odell Beckham when he got his money. Oh, he deserve it. He making all of the catches. And Mike Thomas just do what Mike Thomas does. He don't talk. He just comes out, make it happen. But you know what? We're going to cover it because I won't put Max Kellerman interview. I'm going to let you listen to it so you can see what I'll be talking about all this foolishness out here and about people, even though this guy is a star. This man's a star. He's a star. He's a quiet star, but a star nonetheless. No wide receiver in NFL history, name him Jerry Rice, name whoever you want to come up with, didn't catch that many passes in 3 years. You can only judge him by what he's based on. But I'm going to play to you guys exactly the buffoonish activity of some of these supposed commentators who are out here running amok talking about our New Orleans Saints. That's why we got to check them. Got to check them and shut their asses down. That's what we here for. I'm ready for. I got my boxing gloves on like Soul Saint. I put them on when I'm about to, you know how Soul Saint be doing. You put them gloves on and Soul Saint, baby. But we're going to get into it, man. We're going to talk about it, man. You know, and we're going to get overweight with it. So let's start on it, family. Let's get it nice and crunk right here. And let's start with the Saints training camp, of course. Day 1. Now, right now, the Saints are at camp right now. They had some rain random indoors. And we hadn't have an update. So later on in the day, we'll come back with a podcast where we'll play some interviews and stuff like that. Might not be a live stream. Might just be a regular podcast that we'll do. And you can listen to it on Spreaker.com/thesportscoma. You can listen to it live. Please subscribe and check that out as well. Now, day 1 training camp observations as the center battle starts off. Now, like it's this wasn't they were not in pads, and they had another unpadded workout Saturday before going, full uniform Sunday. Now the Saints kept Friday's practices, sticking to base offenses, and they were in a 4-3. They ain't do nothing exotic, and they weren't many, the 3 wide receiver sets, but it was base defenses pretty for the most part, kind of getting it started. They ain't just come out the woodwork just showing you everything. That'll work itself slowly. But they concluded pretty early, and this is what we seen. Now, Mike Thomas, of course, he's not there. We're going to get into the Mike Thomas thing later on. Neither was Buck Allen or Javarius Allen, who's the running back the Saints picked up, free agent from the Baltimore Ravens, who's a north-south runner, hard, physical runner, kind of reminds me a little bit of Tim Hightower. But Buck Allen, the guy the Saints signed to a 4-year contract, is a guy that they're looking ultimately of hoping to contribute in the third running back capacity. Now, Dwayne Washington is there, and my favorite, Devontae Zigbo, who I think is a combination of both Elvin Kamara and Latavius Murray. But don't get it twisted. I'm not saying that he is. He has attributes of both those running backs. He runs north-south with power. He can catch the ball out the backfield, and he got pretty good speed. He could turn it up on you. Now, other two absences, the Saints have plenty of healthy players, which included Larry Warford, who was there, and they say Warford missed a good portion of field workouts during organized team activities, but Warford and Cameron Meredith is in the building. Can you believe that? Could we believe that, family? Could we really believe that we haven't heard from Larry Warford in a while? But Cameron Meredith, man, he's healthy. He was there on the field. Can you believe it, family? Cameron Meredith was on the damn field. That's special. Now they're saying that Cameron Tom started off the 11-on-11 drills with the starting unit. Then Nick Easton came in. Then Will Clapp had some with the third offense. And then the rotations kind of moved on during the morning. Then Eric McCoy got his opportunity to play. And he worked his way into the first team as Cameron Tom moved to the second team. Now, big ups to Cameron Tom. This dude worked his way up into the team. He's a very good offensive lineman. And the Saints need to hold on to that dude, man. He could play center. He could play guard. Pretty versatile offensive weapon. And they're saying while the trio had the opportunities, one of them going to take the Max Unger job. We know who that is, man. Come on, cut it out. We know it's Eric McCoy's job to take Byron injury or Barron some kind of way he just has a catastrophic fall from grace and just looks completely lost. If Barron all of that and he's as smart as what I know him to be, and watching this film, this guy's your center for the next 10 years, and he's going to take it starting coming up in the big camp. Now, we talked about Mike Thomas wasn't there, but Ted Ginn Jr. is healthy. He was. And then we seen a little bit more Key Kirkwood in the first man starting units with the 11-on-11 drills. Then you seen some Sammy Cobbs Jr. in the play. We seen Emmanuel Butler come back. He passed his physical. He looked pretty good as well. And this is really exciting because Sammy Cobbs Jr., a lot of people, we talked about him, and Emmanuel Butler, 6'4", 220 pounds, who had a couple of thousand catch seasons with Northern Arizona, is a guy that we possibly need to kind of keep an eye on. This guy's pretty productive. At first, we thought he wasn't going to be there, but the guy is actually, he might be all right. You know, we're going to see about Emmanuel Butler, the Butler. We're going to see about him. Now, as far as the nickel package is concerned, they had Eli Apple, Marshawn Lattimore was out there in the nickel spot. Cornerback Patrick Robinson. Now, a lot of people still think, and P.J. Williams is a dude that was up in there, but we seen Kayvon Webster in a rotation as primarily as a backup. That's not a surprise because we know what time it is. Now, Ken Crawley was working on the third team defense, but Ken Crawley need to be working on the 14 defense and the 15 defense, and ultimately the release team defense. Can we get Ken Crawley and put him on the release team defense? Could we put him on the release team defense? How about that? But the return of battle is another interesting thing as well. Marcus Shrells is at the punt return. We knew that. And then I was most interested in the kick return. The kick return battle, which is Deontay Harris. We got Deontay Harris battling in there. And Cyril Grayson, we haven't heard nothing from Cyril Grayson just yet. But Cyril Grayson is a guy that we need to pay attention to as well. But so far as Deontay Harris, the guy with all those great accolades as far as the special teams are concerned, the kick returns and all this kind of stuff that he was doing. And he had a pretty decent career as the NCAA's all-time division leader and kick off, punt return, touchdowns. That's pretty big, man. That's pretty damn big. You come into the play talking like that, like I'm the #1 NCAA leader in punt return and kick return yards, and I'm here to occupy the starting job. That's pretty impressive resume, family, to be quite honest with you. But, you know, we're going to pay attention to those guys. But that was some of the stuff in the day one. We've seen a few really good plays, too. Drew Brees swinging it around. he dropped a nice deep throw down to Jared Cook, who ran past AJ Klein. So pretty good, Saints. And like I told y'all, man, Drew Brees, we've been talking about Drew Brees reduction in arm strength and all this kind of stuff. But the truth be told is that Drew Brees, I mean, come on, family. Come on with it. Drew Brees is one of them dudes, man, that if he needs to, he'll push that damn ball down the field. He'll push it down the field. You know, so let's not buy into too much of that stuff about him, because really, he'll take his shots when he needs to. He'll push the ball down the field. And like I seen a dude, I heard something by the Pro Football Focus guy. I forgot his name. You know, got an Italian name. Y'all know what I'm talking about. The little guy be on there. He ain't Sims. He the other dude. And he was talking about Drew Brees and the fact that Drew, if he had pushed the ball down the field a little further, that Tommy Lee could have actually got past it because he underthrew him on the play. And he was saying all this stuff. Come on. I just gotta base him, man. I just gotta, like old Adrian Broner said, I gotta cook him. I gotta cook them. I gotta cook these buffoonish people out here talking about the Saints. You know, talking about if Drew had arm strength and put it a little further up on him, he got, dude, he ran the man over before he even got the ball. If he'd have put it, I mean, come on, it's hard, family. But we're gonna make it though. But anyway, that's some of the stuff that happened during minicamp day 1. Like I said, day 2, the guys got together. I hear y'all know Crass is a little echo there, man. We gonna work with it for right now. I think that's the best we gonna do with it right now. We're just gonna work with it, buddy. I know we got a slight echo to it, but you know, until we kind of figure it out. Yeah, I know the wrong. Kind of working our way through it, family. And by next time we go live stream, we'll have all the kinks worked out on it. So just bear with us. Bear with me on this one. Yeah, Daquan said your mic echoing pretty strong. Yeah, I know Daquan. Kind of work with us on this one, brother, if you can. Yeah, that's something we need to still work out. So just bear with us on that. It's better than you not hearing me, though. It's not worse than you not hearing me. So. Yeah, I know. It seems kind of low. Yeah, we experiencing that, man. We experiencing some sound issues today, man. You know, we trying to work out. So, Jerome, Crass, Daquan, y'all family, just work with us for today, and we'll get through the show. And about time we come back, we'll have all this worked out. I promise you that. I just didn't want to not talk to you guys today, despite the issues. So, like I said, but it's just showing a certain level of dedication. You know, we could have boxed it and said, you know what, we'll just do another show some other time. But we dedicated, man. We're going to get this damn thing done and get it good. We're going to figure it out. Trust me. Just work with us, fam. Thank you. All right, family. Also, other news and notes to speak about in this here piece is we got some other stuff I want to hit y'all with the Saints signings as well. And you look at some of the things that, you know, the Saints did in terms of a few signings. The Ziggy Hood signing, they picked up Ziggy Hood, linebacker Josh Martin, and defensive back TJ Green on the roster Thursday. And a corresponding move was they released defensive lineman Kenny Bigelow with an injury designation and wide receiver Chad Hansen, both released now. About Ziggy Hood, 32 years old. Appeared in a lot of games, 141 games with 73 starts, 235 tackles, 14 sacks, 42 quarterback hits. And Peyton said upon signing Hood, he's been a consistent player. Now, he spent 5 seasons of his career with Pittsburgh. He was a first-round draft pick there. Then a few short stints with Jacksonville, Chicago, Washington before joining the Dolphins back in 2018. 6'3", 200, and this is the thing about Ziggy Hood. That Ziggy, a lot of people thinking Ziggy's going to be a camp body. I don't think so. Ziggy Hood is going to actually be a pretty
what's the word I'm searching for? I guess you could say he'll be a pretty, I don't know. Because I say probably somebody that they'll rely on. That's what I'm saying. That I think the Saints will rely on Ziggy Hood. They're definitely going to rely on Ziggy Hood here because if you think about it, what he does, what he brings to the team, he's played in. Now, mostly he played in these 3-4 systems. You know, the 3-4 defenses where he played the end position. He can slide inside for you and play the defensive interior, which is what I think the Saints are looking at. Being that they're dealing with Sheldon Rankins being out for an extended period of time, and Onyemata out for one game. So Ziggy could be that guy to get him super cheap, and he's valuable. Now you still have Sylvester Williams on the nose tackle side, which is backing up Malcolm Brown, and then you have guys like the guys that I always seems to keep forgetting his name. You know, the defensive line. Keep forgetting the damn man name. Oh man, Mario Edwards Jr. Mario Edwards Jr. family. I always forget Mario Edwards Jr. name. I don't know why, but Mario Edwards is a guy possibly play a little defensive end, interior line. Although he has a high motor, he's not known to be a sack man. So interesting move, Ziggy Hood there, man. And it's just interesting, man. I like the move, actually, because it brings a guy. Ziggy's real strong, man. Watch the film on Ziggy Hood. Ziggy is a force inside. He's not a dominant Indomitian. Of course not. He's not none of that. But what he does is he does provide a push, and he is a veteran that can help you until Sheldon Rankins returns, if that is what they see, you know. Right. So, interesting the way we're looking at it, family, dealing with it. Now, the rest of the moves the Saints made was they picked up this other fella by the name of Martin. Now, this Josh Martin dude is 6'3", 245 pounds. He was with Kansas City back in 2013 and 14. Spent one season with the Buccaneers. Then he went to the Jets for 3 seasons. And, of course, he know our dog, Demario Davis. But Peyton says Martin's physical was good. And noting that he's been a special teams player about this Martin fellow. So it's interesting to see exactly what the Saints going to look at with him. You know, now if, you know, you have guys that says camp body, this is possibly that. I could see that. I could see him being a camp body because the Saints really have a lot of personnel. I mean, how many special team aces do you need? I guess as much as it takes. But I don't see Martin being anything greater than that. His best season was in 2017. He appeared in 14 games with a career-high 9 starts for the Jets, had 31 tackles, a sack and a half, and 8 QB hits. Sack and a half ain't get you nowhere here, but interesting. I would probably put him on the camp body list, you know. Then you got T.J. Green, a safety that the Saints signed, who will wear number 36, played 2 full seasons with the Colts before being placed on injury reserve. He was released in 2018. He signed with Seattle in 2018, but left the team after saying he lacked the desire to continue to play football. So what the hell is he doing here? Why is he here? Now, he said he went through some workout, looked pretty good. That's what Coach Payton said. He said he's someone that battled a bit of the injury bug, but we thought he moved around well, so we have a chance to evaluate him. And Sean Payton signed the man to a deal. T.J. Green could be another camp body as well. So we'll have to monitor these last 2 signs as opposed to Ziggy Hood and what he's going to bring. So interesting. The last 2 latter kind of camp bodies fit to me as far as that's concerned. You know what I mean? But you know, at least the Saints are trying. You know, you got to give them credit. They looking high and low. They looked at the guy who never played football before. This guy came from Australia. They looked at him. You know, so, hey, man, what can I tell you? The Saints are looking high and low to develop talent. Got to give them credit for that. I'm honest with you. Got to give them credit. Now, also, before we go on to our next topic, you know, I want to shout out a few people for a big up in us here. Thank you. I see a few comments there. I just happened to look. Yeah, Dequan say the show must go on. That's right, fam. You know, we having sound issues, man, but you gotta understand that, regardless or not, we must press forward. Yes. And Adrian's terrific as well. D says, thank you for being there, Big Hugh. D, thank you for being here as well. Wouldn't be able to do it without you, baby. He said regular again. Just work with us. We're going to be fine, family. Crass said, I wanted Muhammad Wilkerson. He'd come super cheap. We on the same order there. Crass, I said the same thing. We end up with Ziggy Hood. Why cry out for Muhammad Wilkerson? We get Ziggy Hood. So, I don't know. I don't know. Stalwart, Lance. What's up, Lance? Been a while, fam. He says Stalwart. Taylor Stalwart is there. But is it a telling indictment on Taylor Stalwart that the Saints went out and picked up Ziggy Hood? Couldn't they have kind of steadied the course of what they have? Dating Ziggy Hood and whatnot? Yeah, I don't know. I was looking at Taylor Stalwart. He looked good in the first year. But I don't know. Taylor Stallworth, baby. Okay, Jerome said I would try Brown at 3. Okay. Marty, what's happening, baby? He said, what's up with Mike Thomas? You think you're going to give him his contract he needs? I know Mike Thomas right now, Marty, making like less than $2 million a season. I just went over some statistics with you about him having more catches in the last 3 years than any wide receiver in NFL history. The last 3 years. The closest guy to him as far as the receptions over the past 3 seasons is Antonio Brown. Not even DeAndre Hopkins is up there the last 3 seasons. DeAndre has like 289. Top dog is as our dog can't guard Mike. He has like 10 receptions more than Antonio Brown, and they sitting up here haggling over a meal or two. They got it. But that's how you keep it, pretending like you don't have it. But we're going to cover that, though, Marty. Just be patient with us. We're going to peruse into that coming up real soon. Foul papers get lawyers. New Orleans Saints wide receiver rookie Emmanuel Butler will win the NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year, and rookie Chauncey Gardner will win the NFL Defensive Rookie of the Year. My picks, Rookie of the Year. All right, foul papers get lawyers. Man, that's big prediction right there. And a lot of people will say, man, I don't know about Emmanuel Butler, but if you look at the film on Emmanuel Butler, my goodness. 6'4", 220 pounds. He's attacked the ball at its highest point. He catches damn near everything you throw to him. Now, the thing to mark against him is he's not a blazer. And, of course, not most of them are. But Emmanuel Butler, the Butler, man, he's a talented dude, man. He's a talented dude. But the problem is we got a lot of talent at that position. Sammy Cobbs Jr. is a dude that's people need to keep an eye on. Besides Emmanuel Butler, a lot of people like LaJordan Humphreys. So, like I said, we got a lot of really talented young wide receiver prospects in camp. And it's just going to be fun watching them just go at it. So, but Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, file papers, get lawyers. You hitting on something right there. I'm not poo-pooing your Emmanuel Butler trade. I like Butler. Hopefully if he can show us something, he'll be on there. But that Chauncey Gardner-Johnson could, watch out for that dude, man. And I like that pick, though. Jermaine said, I can see that. Daquan says, Saints are looking to make everyone earn a spot on the 53-man roster. Yeah, everybody that's on this team is going to contribute in a positive fashion, in a productive fashion. This is a Super Bowl team. Come on. This is a Super Bowl team. The last stinking 2 years have been absolute misery in terms of getting to the end. You have all this promise in the season. Then you get right up to the damn end, and you have a Minnesota Miracle. You get up right to the damn end, and then you have a Tommy Lee, Jerry Lewis, whatever that other fool was that not ran over him, happen to you, and it ends on a fluky note. No more of that, man. No more of that. You know, y'all know my stances. I won't go at it. Got a T-shirt coming out for that. You know, about what I feel about what happened in that NFC Championship game. Have one person caught a ball when they were supposed to, we would not be going through this right now. And I won't say his name, but y'all know who I'm talking about. Crash says, I don't think Ziggy Hood makes the final 53 unless he balls out of the camp. He's a legit callback option after the final cuts are made. Get him in camp. Get familiar with the system. Very good commentary there, Crash. Now, Ziggy, he is a veteran. He done seen it all. He done been in some heated playoff games. So I wouldn't kind of look past him. You know, he was with the Steelers for 5 years, and the Steelers was in the playoffs for those years. And he was a productive young rookie, a young player. You know, he came in there early, started for him, got a lot of reps in Pittsburgh. He's seen a lot of stuff. So this on the slick could be a very decent move. I mean, we want Muhammad Wilkerson, but Ziggy Hood to me is. Demi said, "Don't say his name." I ain't gonna say it today, Demi. I ain't gonna say it, baby. But Crass, like I said, buddy, but don't watch out for Ziggy Hood now. Watch out. The right situation as a reserve coming off the bench, it could actually work for him. I'm telling you, watch out. Jerome said Thomas' numbers will go down this year with Cooks there and receivers. There and receivers been better. Mike Thomas takes a dip in catches because of Cooks. It's a lot of balls to go out there, you know, and it's only so many they can get. But Drew's first option is Mike. He goes to Mike. Now you can say that they're gonna focus on it. If Saints gonna pay him his money, and he's gonna be the center focus against a lot of teams. So you're gonna see him get doubled a lot, is what I'm saying, which could make him take a dip in his production. It could. But you know, Jared Cook. But the first option of Saints offense is Mike Thomas. He already has that camaraderie with Drew. Drew trusts him. Even sometime I seen Drew throw to Mike Thomas and he triple covered. That's like what he used to do with Jimmy Graham. Not saying that he won't trust Cook like that. But they got to build that relationship first. You know, not saying he can't trust them fast, because he's going to trust Cook pretty fast too. But you can't discount the relationship between Drew Brees and Mike Thomas is what I'm saying. That's the first option above all. Foul papers get lawyers said look like Kelvin Johnson in the NFL. He looked like that's a big comparison. Kelvin Johnson and Emmanuel Butler. Now, Kelvin, what was he? 6'5"? Something like that. 230 pounds. But Kelvin has speed, though. Kelvin was, 4'3" something or something? He was big and fast. That would make Kelvin Johnson a beast. That's a huge praise to leave on Emmanuel Butler. Now, I ain't saying Butler's slow. I see him with the catches, but his speed is the thing that kind of, I just don't see the speed. I see he got movement. He looks good, and he's incredibly productive, and he's reliable. And he could be, I'm saying this guy he could be a factor, because he could beat out a guy like Austin Carr. He could beat out a guy like, can he beat out Cameron Meredith, who has his issues, and then you're looking at Rashard Matthews is there as well. So what I'm saying is they got a lot of, it depends on how many people the Saints keep at the wide receiver position as well. Now you got to think about that too, All right, family. Let me speak a little louder. We got some families saying that they can't hear me. Jason, what's happening, Jason? What's happening, Jay? Y'all knew he said can't hear you. Q, turn it up, man. Can't hear you. Q, you're low. Yeah, fellas, we've been having difficulties this morning. We have this new sound software. This new software we're using, and it's giving us some problems. So I'm gonna try to speak up for you guys so you can hear me a little bit better here. Maybe I can turn this up a little bit better too. See if that helps out any. Perhaps that'll help out. If not, I'll just talk a little louder, family. Okay. All right. John, what's happening, John? He said, I hear you. I'm not fiending anymore. I have you. I'm not fiending anymore. I don't get that, John. File paper says thank you. You're welcome, sir. Demi, I hear you, baby. Jason, yeah. File paper said we have 4 first-round draft picks on the New Orleans Saints front 4 defensive line. Cam Jordan, Sheldon Rankins, Malcolm Brown, and Marcus Davenport. Yes, we do. And when we finally get them together, everybody healthy, we get Sheldon Rankins back healthy, you're going to see something with that line. That's probably going to be one of the Saints' best defensive lines in a long time, family. Just going to be honest with you on that. Could very well be the best defensive line that the Saints ever put on the field. Now, that's big credit to Heat because you got to look at former defensive lines like back in the Dome Patrol when they had Jim Wilkes and Frank Warren and guys like that, or a little closer to, coming back at the time with Joe Johnson, Wayne Martin, who's one of my favorites. You got guys like that when they played together, Leroy Glover, the heavy lunch bunch. We talk football here. We talk about the Saints, man. But that Jordan, Sheldon Rankins, Malcolm Brown, and Marcus Davenport could be very big guy. Could be very big together, man. They count on it. So, that's the thing, though, family. We're going to keep on marching ahead. That's right, Glover. Yeah, Leroy Glover. Let's keep marching ahead on Mike Thomas. Let's talk about this Mike Thomas thing, family. Mike Thomas holding out until he agreed to an extension. Now, this was reported by Ian Rappaport from NFL Network that Thomas will not report to camp until a deal is agreed upon. Now, that's not really a surprise there because the Saints had an opportunity. They've been working with this man for weeks now. They could have got this done before camp started. They were expecting him to come on in and say, you know what, Mike's here. We're just going to work it out while he works out at camp. Mike said, I ain't coming up in there. Well, let's get this money straight. And the statistics that I gave, he's caught more passes than any wide receiver over the last 3 years, and of course in NFL history. And guess how much he makes? $1.1 million. Where's the outrage for that? Where's the outrage for that? But we got people out here saying, oh, he ain't worth $20 million. He'd be the NFL's first $20 million receiver. They didn't say that about Julio Jones. Now, Julio Jones' deal's coming up, and he's saying he could be the first $20 million receiver. They ain't saying that about Julio. They ain't saying Julio don't deserve the money. Jerome wants to know how much the fine is. I think it's, I may have to look it up, Jerome. I know it's like 40-something thousand or something like that per day. I may have to look it up, the fine for him not coming in every day. But it's not like a ridiculous amount of money. Maybe for, let me see if I can pull it up here. I think it's like 40 or 50,000 a day. We'll get the specific number. We get you the answers here, fam. Let's see here, because I think it's, if I'm not mistaken. Yep. According to Lee's collective bargaining agreement, Thomas is subject to a fine of $40,000 each day. So that's the answer to your question, family. I knew it was something like that. $40,000 a day that Mike Thomas risks losing every day that he don't report to camp. Now the man make $1.1 million in his final rookie deal, and nobody outraged about that part. Nobody outraged about that, but when he opened up his mouth to say, you better pay me because I've been the best wide receiver here in the NFL, they say, oh, no, he's not worth it. You can't tell. One thing I know in this world, family, you can't tell a person what they're worth. You get what I'm saying? You got people, each one of y'all here in the live chat know what I'm talking about. Each one of y'all in the live chat know what I'm talking about. Y'all know. You can't tell a person their worth. Their worth. Maybe weaker people you can because they don't know their worth. You get me? But for somebody that know their self-worth, you can't tell them nothing. They know what they're worth. And they're going to stand on it until they get what they feel that they're worth. No different in sports. No different in sports. You got football teams that make billions of dollars a year. You got these athletes that make hundreds of millions of dollars a year. And Mike Thomas feels like he's worth a player that's worth $20 million. I tell you one thing. If they don't pay him, he comes in and still plays without a contract, goes into free agency next season. I promise you're going to see him make more than what he was asking for. Y'all and me both knows that. Mike Thomas gets into the open market, he's going to make a lot more than $20 million a season. Y'all know that. Y'all know that. And I know that because they spend ridiculous amounts of money. They paid Kirk Cousins all this money. He ain't worth that. And I'm saying that he ain't worth that based on his production. But if you got a player that has the production that don't cause any problems, Mike Thomas doesn't cause any issues, no problems at all. He's not in any scandals. He's not involved in any scandals where he's whipping women with belts on the beach or letting women sleep in his apartment and touching on them. Or he's not doing any crazy stuff. He works in the community. He helped fix on homes and houses. He's a stand-up person. And he's the first man in the building, the last man out the building, and you don't want to take care of him. And his production on the field. I mean, the man is awesome. Come on. Come on. He plays with a chip on his shoulder. He decimates the bigger cornerbacks. There's nobody that can stand in front of him. You can't put your damn hands on him. You watch the Minnesota tape when they played the Vikings in a playoff game. See what he did to Xavier Rhodes, who's one of the top 5 cornerbacks in the NFL. He threw Xavier Rhodes all over the goddamn place. And Xavier Rhodes is a big physical cornerback. He threw him all over the place like a rag doll. You know? So, I mean, like I said, he hits the open market. Dada, what's up, Dada? What's happening? Dada says he hits the open market. You're looking at $24 million or better. Come on, y'all know. Come on. They know too. But you won't play hardball with a guy. You better realize that, listen, man, we better pay this man. Got to pay him. He wants $20 million. God damn it, I'm $1 million off of it. They already offered them $18 to $19 million, family. That's for right now. It's just amazing to me, to be honest with you, because you would think that a person, there are on a handful of people on the team that do it as good as that guy does it. And, you know, to a degree, most people disrespecting Mike Thomas. Oh, he don't deserve that. But they won't open their goddamn mouth when Julio Jones comes out and say, oh, Julio Jones is worth 20. Oh, we'll pay Julio Jones, but you won't pay Mike Thomas, though. Well, Julio is this, Julio is that. Oh, yeah. Nah. But even they pay Mike Thomas $20 million a season, he won't last as the highest paid wide receiver. Sooner or later, Atlanta will pay Julio Jones. They'll give him his money, and his money will top Mike Thomas's money. That's how it go. He already waiting for a contract. Matter of fact, article came out on him saying that he ain't worrying about the money because they got other people on the team. How team? That's pretty good, Julio. Yeah, that's pretty good, Julio. But when it come down, this the same Julio from last year that said he was holding out for his money. Now it don't matter. Because he know he gonna get it. He could say that. Mind games. But anyway, family, that's one of the great things about talking about these issues dealing with the money. You know, the man worth every damn dime. The Saints said we offered them 18, 19 million. They're gonna get that 20 million. You got to give him his money, get him in camp. Let's get this thing going. You pay him 20 million, you win a Super Bowl the next couple of years with him. You can't be upset by that. I mean, if it's basically about winning Super Bowls, do you really feel that you'll win a Super Bowl without Mike Thomas? Huh, family? I mean, seriously. But anyway, that's the talk. Let's see what some of the family is saying here about it. Dada agrees with me. Dada say he hits the market, $24 million a year. Dada knows. Demi says, "Do you know what I can do with 40?" Demi said, "You know what I can do with 40,000 a day." You know what, Demi? Let me tell you something, baby. We often talk about this money almost like it's not real money. You know what I mean, family? We talking $20 million a year. $20 million a year. 20 million. $40,000 a day is what some people make in 1 year. And they really don't make that. If they said, okay, you got a job, and they say, okay, we'll pay you $40,000 annually, you know taxes coming out of that. So you're not gonna see that $40,000. Not the entire $40,000. But I agree with you though. I agree with you on that. It's the fact that that's a lot of money, and oftentimes in sports and entertainment, it don't seem real when a person can afford to pay a $40,000 a day fine, when that is some people's annual salaries. It's crazy. I know it's crazy, but this is what I'm talking about. It's a massive business worth billions, multi-billion dollar endeavor. And it's can afford to pay its athletes upwards to $20 million a year. It's awesome. It's beautiful. But I know, Demi, I'm thinking like you. Sometimes I got the figures hit me because I be looking at all of that. I'm like, $40,000. Damn. That's a lot of bread. But Demi said, I don't blame him, Q. This young man deserves. Yes, he does, Demi. He worked hard for it. Worked his butt off. Jerome says he got to get the fine money back when the contract done. He will be in there. Yep. Jason says Mike Thomas deserves $20 million a year, no more. I mean, that's what he asking for. But I think he gonna end up getting it, buddy. Jones is worth it. Jerome says Jones is worth it. And okay, Jones is worth $20 million a year. Mike Thomas, I know, is he? Jerome, you're saying he should be worth it too, Jerome. I just read you the man played 3 years in the league. 3 years, Jerome, and he has more catches than any other wide receiver in history. Now you can only judge him or talk about him or comment on him based on what he's given you. He's only been there for 3 seasons. But within those 3 seasons, he has more catches than any wide receiver in NFL history. Jerry Rice, Randy Moss, Tony Harrison. I mean, any great wide receiver that you can come up with. Any great wide receiver you can come up with, guess what? He's outdid him in the 3 years that he's been in the NFL. This is his 4th year, and he's saying I'm worth more than 1.1 million. Can you argue with him? Say, well, he's not worth 20 million Q, but Julio Jones is. Julio Jones ain't do that in 3 years either. Let's not look at all the years Julio's been here. They just looking at the last 3 because that's all you can do. You can't prophesize that he'll do it in the 4th year because it hadn't happened yet. So we can only take what he's given us, and that's what the agents are using to negotiate that contract. It's what he's done, his high production over that span of time. Julio hadn't been able to do that Kelvin Johnson didn't do that. Who else you got? You want to put up there? DeAndre Hopkins, all of the game's best. Odell Beckham Jr. What's the other guy that came from LSU too? Jarvis Landry. All the greatest wide receivers in the NFL had not done what Mike Thomas did in the 3 years that he's been here in the NFL uniform. I'm just saying. Think about it. Anyway, let's see. Dada says, that's my thing, that I knew Drew was going to get his money, but I knew Thomas was going to catch hell. I was at the camp early, and I seen Sammy Cobbs making a lot of plays with the number ones. We've been following Sammy Cobbs. Emmanuel Butler and Sammy Cobbs' names are ringing out right now, Dada. But we haven't heard too much from LaJordan Humphreys, who that's another dude you got to look out for. And don't forget the Saints brought in Rashard Matthews to kind of get in that situation as well. He said MT was our passing offense last year while the rest of the wide receivers couldn't beat single coverages. MT was dominating and keeping us in game after game. He'll get his money and is deserving of every penny he gets. Thank you, Crass. As always, good analysis. Because that's true. Remember, there was no other wide receiver even close to what Mike Thomas did for the Saints last year, and the Saints still end up 13-3. We didn't get Teddy again till much later, but it was Mike Thomas, and they knew Mike Thomas was there, and they were doubling down on Mike Thomas, and he still was able to produce. Despite being double covered. So that says a lot, man. You got to pay the man. Lance says yes. Trey, what's up, Trey? Trey's in the building. Jason says Gail wouldn't let that happen. Not in the middle of the Super Bowl caliber team that can win it. All Saints fans would lose their damn mind. You heard me? Do the right thing. Let's go get this Lombardi. Thank you, Jason. Thank you. I think a part of the delay in negotiation with Mike could be the guaranteed amount. Looking at $100 million there, Crass. Jerome said if he don't want the 19 or 20, send him to the Jaguars for Ramsey. Hell no. I don't want that dude. We don't need Ramsey. We got Lattimore. And we don't need that guy down here causing problems. He got a big mouth and he talk a little too much for me. But don't even worry about that scenario though, Jerome, because the Saints are gonna get it done. Trust me. Trey says, appreciate it, Trey. Thank you. He said, love this channel. Thank you, sir. Right back at you. My son's on the chat. He says, hi, Dad. Hey, buddy. Lance says, we have been historically the best offense with Mike Thomas. So, yes, I believe the Saints will win a Super Bowl. No, without him? No, bro. I was riding with you until you said without him. I was reading that quote, Lance. I was reading it with all the virtuousness and the conviction. And then you get right to without him. I was like, oh, you derailed the train. Without him, no. How do you get there without Mike Thomas? Who do you have? How? No. He's a part of the triplets. Elvin, Drew, Mike. You don't give up a guy like Mike Thomas, especially if he's not asking to leave. He just wants to get paid. He isn't. I'm just saying. Look, I know it's a different sport, but look what Anthony Davis's ass did. And we covered this a lot on the Pelican Post-Game Report. If you guys like the Pelicans or you're Pelicans fans, please subscribe to the Pelican Post-Game Report channel on YouTube. We talk about the Pelicans and everything dealing with same passion and force as we do with the Saints. So feel free to join us on that channel if you like the Pelicans. Now, the thing, look how Anthony Davis left the Pelicans. Okay, he gave him 7 great years, true indeed, but he still had 2 years remaining on his contract. And because of his quivering, it basically destroyed what the Pelicans had last year. If he worked it and done it a different way and not went in public with it, he could have still got traded and it wouldn't have damaged the team like it did. But I'm saying, you know that he wants to get paid and the Pelicans was trying to give him that money. You got a guy like Mike Thomas that's here. He didn't demand a damn thing. He just saying, listen, $1.1 million for me is too little money. I'm still working on my rookie deal. I wants to get paid. And he talking to him right now with 1 year left on his contract. because he ultimately can end up going into free agency and he can get paid. He knows what he's worth in the open market, and as far as I'm concerned, it's a discount. He could have said a lot higher than that because you know he can get it in the open market. They got at least several teams that's gonna pay Mike Thomas. If it get into a bidding war, this thing is getting off the $25 million easily. But $100 million at $20-something million a year for the Saints organization, who's never paid a skilled player, a wide receiver like that in history. Guess what? You throw history's ass out the door when it comes down to something like that, because we had great wide receivers over time, but when it comes down to it, Mike Thomas is gonna he gonna break all their records. We talking about Colston, Joe Horn, all of them. Whoever you want put up against him, he gonna take all their goddamn records down. If he remain healthy, he gonna be the focal point for the Saints offense for many seasons. This is not hard. This is not split like Sean Payton said. It's not splitting the atom here. This is not astrophysics, family. This is not quantum physics, family. This is does he have high production versus is he worth it? And he's a huge part of the offense. How do you win a Super Bowl without Mike Thomas? That's impossible. Unless you trade Mike Thomas for a guy that's close to his value that does what he does. You got to get a player like some of the greatest in the game right now who can't be stopped. And I got a lot of love for Antonio Brown. He's a little player with all his production, and he gets older. But Antonio Brown, if you watch him play, when he played the Saints, when the Steelers and the Saints got together for that game, and you had Juju Smith-Schuster cutting up in that game, you had Antonio Brown running around. This guy, he was just a master at it. You can see he mastered the position. You got some guys out there that mastered what they do because they work on it like that. That's what Mike Thomas is. He's first in the building, the last one to leave, and he's a hell of a player. He's a model citizen. He's a stand-up guy. He don't have colorful hair or weird clothes. He comes to work and makes things happen. You heard me? So, thank you, Crass. Appreciate you, sir. Appreciate your donation and gift. Thank you, man. Thank you, Crass. Let's see, Jerome say Q just looking at the numbers, not impact. I got you, my family. Young Bloods. What's up, Young Bloods? Young Bloods 26, been a while since you've been in the building, family. Oh, we got some sound issues here. All right, family, can y'all still hear me? Yeah, that's the thing though, family. We gotta understand, man, that we mentioned Andrews Pete. I just had a comment about Andrews Pete. I want to address that too, family. We just had a comment. Can y'all still hear me? We just had a comment about Andrews Pete. Andrews Pete is fine, by the way. Just to let you know, I just seen that comment there. We're gonna keep it moving here. Anyway, family, this the great part about it. I love talking about this because, we had the Mike Thomas chatter, and then you have people. But just give me a second, family. Give me a second. I want to add something on top of this. Set this up so you can hear what Max Kellerman said about Mike Thomas. I just want to play this for you just to quantify, some of the stuff that I've been saying about some of these goofy guys out here that's talking about your Saints. And how he feels like the man shouldn't be a top-notch wide receiver. Let's listen to what Max Kellerman had to say about your New Orleans Saints best wide receiver, Mike Thomas. Let's see if we can get that tuned up. I just want to play this for you just to quantify. Just a second, family. We're gonna get it together here.
Views right now. The Chargers want Melvin Gordon, they value Melvin Gordon, but not to the level that he views himself at as a top back in this league.
Practice begins for the New Orleans new D for 8 minutes. Michael Thomas per year. So Max, does Thomas deserve to be the highest paid receiver in the league?
No, not the highest paid. He'll be the highest paid, but if you're really asking me, does he deserve it? We can always make the argument, well, this is how it works, and every new guy resets the market, so whoever's next up deserves it. No, that's not how I'm interpreting the question. If the pay is supposed to be representative of the quality of the player, and if you're the highest paid, you're supposed to be the best, or at least that you are among the best, but with an arrow pointing up, like you're the trajectory of your career, you're still ascending, or something like that. You can even make the argument if you're among the elite, maybe not the very best, but you've been huge in the playoffs, or you mean something special to that town for whatever reason, something like that. What I see in Michael Thomas is an excellent now I hate to sound like your typical football analyst guy, but
you don't.
He is just an excellent overall football player. At receiver, he does everything you want that guy to do. And he deserves to get paid, and he will. He's in a position of tremendous leverage. But the highest, to me, that means you should be in the elite. And I'm not going to tell you top 5 or top 10, because then we can quibble about the margins. I'm going to say, because it's arbitrary. Like, so there are levels, top level. Here's the top level of receivers, and we all know the names. Let's not pretend. There's Odell and Julio Jones and Antonio Brown and DeAndre Hopkins. Now, the 5th slot is up for grabs, A.J. Green, or because of injury and age, you want to put Michael Thomas in there, or you can make an argument for Mike Evans in certain seasons, or Amari Cooper if he's coming on. But the bottom line is Odell and Antonio Brown and Julio Jones, and now DeAndre Hopkins forced his way into that conversation. Michael Thomas is not quite there, so he shouldn't be the highest paid.
That stat that we just had on.
All right. Did you hear that, family? Did you hear that? That was Max Kellerman. What's up, Glenn? What's up, JT? How y'all doing, family? What's up, Derek? How you doing, brother? Did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear what I just played from Max Kellerman and the staff over there at ESPN's First Take? Did you hear that, family? I'm quite confused and dumbfounded by that commentary. He's not elite. He will be the highest paid, but he's not elite. Mike Thomas isn't elite for real. Same guy that said Drew Brees ain't the top. He ain't in my top 5. So Drew Brees, according to this fellow, how do you even respond to that? How? He stumped. He just like. I'm sorry, family. I'm sorry, but I'm sorry. He's not elite. Mike Thomas is not elite in this guy's perception. Even though the graphic that went up during his whole spiel showed Mike Thomas had it with 10 more catches than Antonio Brown, who he considers elite. So if you got a guy who you consider elite, and you got a man that got more catches than him over the span of the time that he's been in the league, wouldn't you consider him elite too? But see, what they look for is these guys that's colorful. You got Antonio Brown. He got colorful. He got the weird hair and the weird clothes, and he does kind of what some of these celebrities do. They kind of get some money and go weird, Like for instance, if you had a neighbor and you see him go to work and y'all work together, and he went to work with you, and you can wear regular clothes on the street, and he was wearing them type of clothes, you would think he was out of his damn mind. You say, what the hell wrong with that fool? But see, they get away with it because they got a few dollars. So you kind of say, oh, they just eccentric. We just let it go. Like, imagine if you had a neighbor that dressed like Cam Newton and went to work with you every day. He had the big old hats with the holes open and all of the stuff, I don't know where to go with that one. I just played that for you guys just to make you understand to the level of complete disrespect and foolishness that we got to go through as Saints family. I mean, that's absolutely, I have no rebuttal for that. I mean, what could I tell you? That's just absolutely asinine. That's just back ass. How do you not consider him elite? You talk about AJ Green. AJ Green ain't do that, what he did. They had the graphic. He even messed over his own self when they put up the graphic that showed Mike Thomas 321. Let me, hold on. Just crazy. It's insane. It's insane, family. It's crazy. Mike Thomas, since 2016, family, has 321 catches. Okay? Do we have that established? Okay? 321 catches. You can only judge him based on what he's done since he's been in the league. 321 catches. The closest guy to him in the league since he's been in the league as a wide receiver with catches is Antonio Brown with 311. With 311 catches. Antonio Brown. Now, we ain't going to quibble about it, but they consider Antonio Brown elite. Correct? We all can say that they consider him an elite wide receiver in this league. It is absolutely mind-blowing that since Mike Thomas has been in the league, he got 321 catches. The closest man to him is Antonio Brown with 311, and then DeAndre Hopkins with 289. DeAndre ain't even in the top three. But DeAndre's elite. Julio ain't even in the discussion over the last 3 seasons. Julio Jones is not even in the same discussion. So Julio, AJ Green, and Antonio Brown, all the guys that Odell Beckham Jr., he's not even in a discussion over the last 3 seasons. You know why? Because Odell Beckham's be hurt. Mike Thomas he has played. Don't get me wrong. Odell Beckham is a hell of a wide receiver. All those guys I just named. But those guys were hurt. That's why their production wasn't up there. DeAndre Hopkins missed games. So did Julio Jones. So did Odell Beckham Jr. So did the rest of those guys. They missed games. The only one didn't was Mike Thomas. And he only turned out 321 catches in 3 years. That's 10 more than his closest competition, which is Antonio Brown, who's considered an elite wide receiver in this year. But he's not elite. I can't do nothing more with that, Max. I'm sorry. I can't do no more than that to dispute that. That was probably one of the worst breakdowns I've seen. I hate to sound like a analyst. Oh, you don't. Don't worry about it. You don't. Good grief, man. Good God, man. Just slap the piss out of him. Just Saint slap him. That's what we're going to do. I'm going to create something. Just call it the Saint slap. It's 2 people right now want a Saint slap. That damn referee that missed that call and Max Kellerman's ass, right? Just slap the piss out of him. Just slap the gray off his face. Saint slap his ass. Damn, good grief. That was a bad one. And I heard a lot of bad ones. And that was pretty bad. The other guy from Pro Football Focus, who had a pretty bad one too. I'm gonna play him at another time. But good God, man, I said I got to share this one with the family. They will be floored. I was literally stumped. My brain shut off for a second. My brain shut off. I couldn't even. I had to reset, family. Good God, man, come on. See what we got to go through. Do you see, family? Do you see what we got to go through? Almost wish I had something harder in this cup. That's what it is. That's what I need to get that juice out of there and put something hard up in there. To listen to some foolish just like that. Good grief. Let's see what some of the family talking about before we hit our rest of the topics that we have. What the hell y'all talking about? Get rid of Thomas. You don't need him. Y'all know football, the top players get paid. Yes, Dada. Dada, who you? Dada spitting some flames on somebody over here. I must have missed something. All right, fam. Let's keep on rolling. Lance and Dada going at it. Y'all chill, man. Y'all brethrens. Come on now. Lance says, I'm not saying get rid of him. I'm saying we'll be fine with Dada. No, you won't, Lance. No, Lance. No, you won't. The only way you'll be better without Mike Thomas if you trade him for one of them guys I just mentioned. You trade Mike for Julio Jones and keep the ship moving or something like that. And besides, he don't want to be traded. He just want to get paid. We got to pay him. The Saints had excellent drafts. The last few drafts were pretty good. And the side effect of having really good drafts, you're going to get some good players. You're going to have to pay them. You got to pay them. You got to pay them. What's the answer? You pay your good players and continue to draft well. And you use that draft very efficiently. A good draft, you get at least 3 to 4 years out of a player. Some of those you can get a 5th year. But you draft well. Continue to draft well. You build your draft, keep moving forward. You sign your top players. Hold on to a guy like Mike Thomas. You hold on to Alvin Kamara. You hold on to Marshawn Lattimore. You hold on to Ryan Ramczyk. You hold on to Andrews Pete. You hold on to some of these guys, and you win. You win progressively over time. Look at New England. New England's held on to some of their better players and continue to turn out win. I know they're a machine in terms of doing that because their system team will plug and play features. But at the end of the day, what I'm saying is that they are some of the rarest teams in the NFL that are able to reserve its core players, because you'll come across some players that are just elite. And when you recognize them as such, you keep them. You have to keep them. And it's not like they're not getting paid. The Saints have a waiting list of people to get season tickets. That's been the case for the last several years. But the Mike Thomas discussion is not really a discussion, family. I don't understand what the problem is. I don't get what the problem is. Mike Thomas is an elite wide receiver. He's a star. He's a quiet star like Kawhi Leonard. You know? The guy don't talk much. He don't do all this old craziness. You know, he's a laid-back dude. He's a regular dude. That's a star. I know we used to getting guys that color their hair up and start acting weird and put on dresses and everything. But at the end of the day, what I'm saying is he ain't that type of star. He's just a regular, everyday star. He's just a regular dude next door who happens to be a superstar at what he does for a living. That's just what it is. Yes, you got to pay him, and trading him is not an option. You don't trade Mike Thomas, especially when he's not asking to be traded. That's crazy. That's crazy. He's not asking to be traded. You know? That's crazy. You know? And I just had the comparison between Anthony Davidson and Mike Thomas. You know, AD came out, I want to go. I want to go play with LeBron. I want to go play with LeBron. But AD, you're going to miss $240 million. You're going to lose out on $30, $40 million a year. I don't care. I want to go play with LeBron. Well, take your ass out there and go play with him. Mike Thomas ain't saying that, man. Mike Thomas says, listen, I know my worth. I've been the best wide receiver since I came in this league as far as catches is concerned, and you will compensate me accordingly, or somebody else's will. If you don't come up to it, I'm pretty sure he got a deadline, and he'll report to camp. He ain't gonna blow out the whole season. That's foolish. He gonna get up to a point. He gonna say, okay, well, we're gonna cut off the negotiation. I'm gonna just play football. Then whatever happens, happens. That's the mind state. Now, if you screw around and play up, you can end up causing some problems going in the future. The Saints don't want to do that. pay the man their money, especially when you $1 million off of what he want. They offering him $19 million. He just want $1 more million. It ain't like they can't afford to give it to him. They just playing hard to get. Anyway, let's move on, family, to the next discussion. Crash said Max Kellerman is stick to boxing. I agree. Max Kellerman is a hell of a boxing analyst, man. He's pretty damn good. But that other stuff, my goodness, no, Max, no, stop it. That's wrong. That's bad. It's terrible. It ain't right. What's up, Glenn? One man's stupid opinion, don't sweat it. That's right, Glenn. But Glenn, come on, when you heard that, didn't your brain shut off? Come on, be honest with me. Be honest with me, Glenn. Your brain shut off for a second. I couldn't even form a thought just now. That's how terrible that commentary was. That commentary, I had to, my brain shut off, and I couldn't even put together a decent rebuttal to such nonsense. You ever had somebody encounter when they said something so off wall and off base, I don't know how to respond to that. I don't even know how to come back at you. I don't know what to say. That's what just happened to me, like right now on live stream. I just got shut down. My brain shut down on me. Good grief. Jermaine said, just a hater. Lance said, you talking about the past. Let me see. Those players who stepped up lack experience. Lance Moore, rookie Robert Meacham, Henderson, unknown tight end. Sean Payton is an offensive mastermind. That's what Lance is saying. Crash said Max needs time off for vacation. He isn't thinking clearly. Mike isn't a drama queen, so they downplay his wide receiver. That's what they are. It's the wide receiver. It's the wide receiver diva syndrome. If you're not a diva wide receiver like Antonio Brown, the ultimate diva in the league is Odell Beckham Jr. All at the little fashion events and all the foolishness. Mike Thomas don't get involved in that, and that's what they like. Oh, they like a flashy wide receiver, do all that stuff and get caught speeding and all this kind of old nonsense. Mike Thomas don't do that, man. But Mike Thomas will outwork the hell out them guys, man. Them guys are really good at what they do. They got all the talent in the world. But Mike Thomas outworking their ass, man. It's obvious. Look at the statistics. He outworking them. He don't miss no time. He ain't missing days and games like the rest of those wide receivers are. He in there working his ass off, man. Jerome said, define it top 3, top 5, top 10. $20 million a year is going to hurt the team in the future. Define it top 3, top 5, top 10. What you mean, Jerome? Expound on that, bro. So I can add you what you saying. Define Mike Thomas as top 3, top 5, or top 10. Lance says $20 million a year is going to hurt the team in the future. No, it won't, Lance. No. Where you getting this from? Who told you that? No, it's not going to hurt the team in the. That's what the way it happens is when a person gets paid, somebody gets less paid. That's how it is. Who on the team right now don't deserve the money that they're making? They're going to look over the books, look at the production, and say, listen, you're not making the kind of the stats that we think you need to be making for the money. Name one guy right now that's not making, who's not living up his salary and his production aren't matching right now. I can give you one guy right now. He's one of my favorite players on the team. It's A.J. Klein. So when one player gets paid, another player gets depaid. That's always been the way. It will not affect your team. $20 million will not hurt this team in the future. It won't. It won't. They wasn't saying that when Drew Brees was getting $30 million a season for the last couple of years. Drew Brees making $30+ million a year. Is that hurting the team? Because you don't have a team without Drew. You don't have a team without Mike. You don't have anybody that can come in and fill in. Mike Thomas said, you know what? I'm shutting it down for the year. It's over with. I'm going to just wait for free agency next year. He shuts down. Who you got? Who you got to replace what he brings? Don't you understand how taking Mike Thomas out of your offense incredibly impacts your offense? Do you not realize how good this person is? This dude is excellent at what he does. He beats double teams. Sometimes they got to triple team him to stop him. He's the most sure-handed wide receiver that you have. I can't say enough about Mike Thomas. Just put the goddamn tape on and watch what he does. He blocks really well. He picks up. He's the man got it together. Brother, he got it together. And we talking about being without, that's crazy talk. You don't have nobody to replace him. This team is not a Super Bowl team without Mike Thomas, Drew Brees, and Alvin Kamara. We need those three dudes on the offensive side. On the defensive side, that's a whole nother discussion. That's old enough because Cam Jordan needs to be there. It's 5 people, at least 5 players on this team that cannot go anywhere, cannot get hurt for you to be a Super Bowl team. Seriously, there's at least 5 of them on here, and we can name them all, but you already know who those people are. You cannot lose those guys if you expect to win a Super Bowl. It's just that important. Seriously. Derek says, Derek Summerall, if Sean Payton feels that Mike needs to get paid, damn, what everybody else talking about. I hear you, Derek. I don't get this Mike Thomas stuff. This is like he said, like old Sean said, it's not splitting the atom. Pay the man. Is he the top? Is he caught more passes than anybody the last 3 years? Yeah. Okay. Did he miss a game due to injury? No. Is he a diva? Is he causing problems in the community? Is he whipping women with belts? Is he running, touching on girls and making them cry? Is he stealing money out of people's locker rooms like El Bacano did a long time ago? Is he doing all this foolishness? No, he's not doing all this foolishness. He's a community guy. He's a stand-up guy. He outworks everybody in that goddamn building. He's top. He caught more passes than any wide receiver over the last 3 years, which happened to be the amount of time that he's been in the NFL. And we having this discussion on why not to pay him. Are we kidding here? Come on. Are we kidding here? No, this is no. No, what's wrong, everybody? This is not an issue. Mike Thomas deserves to get paid. He isn't. Yes, he's an elite wide receiver. He's in a top 3 wide receiver, wherever you want to put him at. He's a top 3. He deserves to be up there with whoever you consider elite. Without him, your offense suffers mightily. No doubt about it, because he demands a double team, which frees up somebody else. Somebody else is going to ball out of control because of Mike Thomas, because they got to commit 2 guys to his side. Somebody else going to ball out of control because of Mike Thomas. It'd probably be Jared Cook. It might be Rashard Matthews. Could be Ted again if he can stay healthy. But this is the issues. Mike Thomas, this is not a discussion. Mike Thomas is the man. No doubt about it. Can't guard Mike. He got it right. Come on, family. Come on with me. Lance Vaughn said, Lance drunk. We got rid of Cooks and Graham over money and being disgruntled with the system. You did get rid of Cooks because of the money, but Cooks was clashing with Thomas at the time too. And he wanted to be the number 1 receiver. He seen himself as the number 1 receiver. Obviously, the Saints seen Mike Thomas as a number 1 receiver, so they got rid of Cooks. So maybe you need to pay him as such. Pay him like a number 1 receiver. What's up, Sean? I ain't see you up in here, baby. What's good? If you trade MT, you're going to lose out on the free agents necessary in the team building process discussed earlier. Who will want to play with a team without a perceived loyalty? That's true, too. Good comment, Sean. That's also the area. What kind of team would trade their number 1 non-diva, non-funny clothes wearing, non-colorful hair, hardworking, community, quiet-centered in the person that causes no issue? What kind of team would trade somebody like that unless if you a foolish team like what the Browns used to be? I mean, or some team that just want to lose. You know, that's setting an incredibly dangerous and precedent, and also a bad example. Mike Thomas is, besides Drew Brees, probably one of the hardest working players on your team. And you're going to get rid of him? I just don't. That is a disaster waiting to happen. We shouldn't even be having this discussion. I should be talking about something else right now. Matter of fact, I think I'm going to talk about something else right now. Let's talk about what you're talking about. Dada says, Derek, he's hard-headed, still living in the past, bro. Talking about should and could do. Demi, let's pray for our haters. If it wasn't on our team, the league would give Mike Thomas his respect. As long as you're a New Orleans Saints, you don't get the respect from Drew on down. It's sad, but it's true. Demi, that I agree with you, baby. 100%. That is absolutely the truth. They've been hating on the Saints. This is another sad example. I played Max Kellerman just to let y'all hear about the kind of stuff that we got to deal with, that we got to listen to. We got to listen to as a Saints Nation. We got a foolish, clownish chump commissioner running around, passing heavy fine, being heavy-handed with everything the Saints do. He could have gave on Yamada a $20,000 fine for a box of weed coming to his house, and all of a sudden he gonna hit him a 1-game suspension. But let Hill from Kansas City walk with all that stuff he was doing, and then let Ezekiel Elliott push the man down, let him walk without what he was doing, and all this other stuff happening right here. But on Yamada, heavy-handed, garbage chump commissioner doing it, and funny officiating, Everything else, man, it's just, and then you got these terrible commentators that just hate the Saints. It's like we the butt of everybody's jokes. That's why I kept saying, family, that I'm glad that, we having this discussion, that there is a sports coma. So I can show you the ludicrousness of the foolishness that we have to go through as to gain respect in the league. We won a Super Bowl. If you want to make somebody the butt of your jokes, make the Falcons the butt of your jokes. They ain't never won no Super Bowl. They ain't won jack squat. Make them the butt of your jokes. Make them the butt of the jokes team. Don't play with my Saints. Don't show us on highlights getting beat and all this kind of stuff. I see what you're doing on NFL.com. When you want to show commercials of people catch a touchdown, you want to put up there and show Ken Crawley before you walk it getting beat and all this kind of nonsense. I see what y'all doing. But, at the end of the day, we're going to keep it real. Thank you, Demi. What's up, LaShawn? I love your voice. I listen to your show. I can't go to sleep. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Lance says, Lloyd and the offense don't miss a beat. Gary says, Mike Thomas and the Saints are a Super Bowl team. Without MT, the Saints are average. Thank you, Gary. I won't say average, Gary, but they ain't no Super Bowl team without Mike Thomas. But I agree with you on that. Jerome Climb still don't make $1 million to $22 million. I hear you, Jerome. I hear you don't make that much, but I'm saying you're not going to find somebody on your team and say, hey, you make $20 million, I'm going to take it away from you and give it to him. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that the Saints going to find money. They're going to look all over their roster and find out whose production is not matching the money, and they're going to renegotiate with them. They do it all the time. You might have a guy who is injured. Teron Armstead, he had several salary reductions because he didn't live up to the indicators in his contract, the playing arrangements within his contract. When you have an injury player like that, they have stipulations written into the agreements that indicate that if they meet a certain percentage of playing time, they get this amount of money. Or if they don't, they lose this amount of money. So that's what I'm saying at the end of the day, is that we got to understand that, man. We got to get that. Thank you, Adrian. Appreciate you, baby, for doing that. Thank you. Appreciate it for your donation. Appreciate everything that you do. And thank you very much. Thank you. But that's what I'm talking about. You're looking at a guy like Klein. The Saints still is I just checked a couple hours ago. Sport Track, the Saints still got $12 million in salary cap. They still got money. So they'll have some contracts fall. They rework some stuff. But I'm saying at the end of the day, that $20 million won't hurt the Saints. I'm telling you, it won't. What'll hurt them worse is losing Mike Thomas, and he goes to the Falcons, and he gonna tear their ass up. That's what I'm talking about. That's worth keeping them. I'm just saying, man. Come on. Derek says, Dada, you can't save everybody. Guess we have to learn. They have to leave and be. I heard Mac was looking good today. Mac. Lloyd says that's not true because last year after game 12, everyone knew that. We only had 2 players. Offense was not efficient 14, 15, 16 as it was in 09. Crest says, I hope Alizé sends down on the pack. Sean, I'd say 6. Derek says, real Saints fans understand the value of Mike T. Thank you, Derek. I'm not saying, you know what, Derek? You know what? That I respect your vigor and your Saints brethren, but these are other great Saints fans on here. I think they're just not seeing the value of what Mike bringing to our team. That's what I'm saying. How his role and how impactful he is to the team. I think a lot of people having a problem, getting kind of understanding how incredibly important Mike Thomas is to the offense. I think that's what a disconnect is. I think we have some great Saints people in here, but I just think that it's a disconnect in understanding where he is. You see what I'm saying, Derek? In terms of how impactful a man is to the team. I mean, me and you both understand we up in here. But we know how important Mike Thomas is. Look at the statistics last year. There was when no other wide receiver was producing, Mike Thomas was basically carrying the offense, the passing game by itself. You had tight ends was a tight end by committee approach with Ben Watson, Hill, and the other guys. But Mike Thomas, basically the only dude that was carrying the offense. Come on now with it. He was the only man carrying the entire offense from the passing perspective. Think about it. Prior to the year, what was Mike Thomas saying, fam? Mike Thomas saying, I want a 200 catch year. Remember he said that? Now, he didn't get 200 catches, but he caught damn near everything he possibly can caught. And it was he carried the passing game, family. There was nobody else even close to his production. Not even close. And I understand that should show you right there. And they were 13-3 in the passing game. You had a wide receiver, lopsided statistics. lopsided statistics on what he was producing. So we got to understand it. That's not disrespect Mike Thomas. Let's not disrespect him. Let's understand and appreciate. Pull out your statistics. Go back in 2018, pull out the passing statistics, and look at the wide receiver statistics of what Mike Thomas was giving the Saints offense, their passing offense, versus what all the rest of the wide receivers and tight ends was giving them. The closest one to him was Alvin Kamara, and Alvin Kamara was a running back. You see? But when we talk about wide receivers, Mike Thomas is imperative. Eventually, Mike Thomas is going to get his money, and Alvin Kamara's got to get his money too. But I promise you, when Alvin Kamara, time for him to get paid, you won't hear all these people saying, "Oh, Alvin Kamara don't deserve the money, or he ain't valued. We can't win." I asked the family, "Do we win without Alvin Kamara?" They'll tell you, "No, we can't win without, but we can win without Mike Thomas." Think about that. You can't win without either one of these guys because you don't have a proper replacement for either one of these guys. That's like saying we can win without Drew. You don't have a proper quarterback to replace Drew Brees to get to the Super Bowl. You don't have a proper wide receiver to replace Mike Thomas if something happened to him. You don't have a proper running back to replace Alvin Kamara if something happened to him. You don't. You cannot lose those three men and expect to be a Super Bowl team. That is the bottom line. I'm sorry to tell you that. That's how incredible their value is to this team. And guess what? Mike Thomas is not stupid. He knows his value, and he's worked his ass off to build to make himself a top-notch wide receiver in this NFL, and he deserves to get paid just like Brown, just like Odell Beckham. Nobody batted an eye when Odell Beckham got all that money, but when quiet Mike Thomas steps up to the plate, oh no, he ain't a superstar. Superstar and a diva with flashy and colorful hair that's foolishness. You can be a quiet superstar and still. Good thing Kawhi Leonard ushered in the era of quiet superstars winning championships. Won a championship with Toronto last year. Beat the Golden State Warriors with all these shenanigans. Beat them, a quiet star. Let that be a focal point of sports going forward. That you don't have to be a loudmouth, colorful person to be paid millions of dollars. You could be a quiet star and make things happen for your team, like Mike Thomas. Crash said 2019 is AJ Klein's last year. Wouldn't disagree with that. Lloyd says Drew, Thomas, Kamara, Lattimore, Cam. Sixth place is Teron. Jay says next Lance is going to say we can win without Drew Brees. Come on, man. Don't be too hard on Lance, man. He just expressing his views. Jermaine says who goes to work in a hot air balloon? AB did that. Bro, if your neighbor went to work in a hot air, but I'm just trying to show you how would we let these celebrities get away with? We let them get away with all this craziness and not checking them with all this stuff, these weird clothes. You know damn well if you went to church with somebody and they come in there with a hot pink suit and a green hat and some purple alligators on and the pants way up to the ankles, and then they sat down right there, you wouldn't lean to your girl and say, "Look, what's wrong with this fool?" But let a celebrity come up there with all that same attire on, and ain't nothing wrong with him. He a celebrity. He could do it. See, we let our celebrities get away with that because they got a little bit of money. You say, okay, well, they can afford to be eccentric. No, anybody could be eccentric, but we do give a lot of room to celebrities, athletes, entertainers, whomever who goes out and do all this. They kind of get a little weird. They call it being creative. You can be creative. Creative, but creative don't necessarily being like weird, you see what I'm saying? Sometimes they go out there and test the limits, but we let our celebrities do that. If a guy come to work with you or a lady came to work with you like doing that, you and I both know what y'all gonna say. Come on now. Let's not pretend like we wouldn't. Dada says, Crass, I'm with you. I was looking at Dan Arnold and mad as hell he dropped the ball against the Rams. I didn't say it, Demi. I didn't say it. Dada said it. See? I ain't have to say it, baby. I ain't say it. Sean says 7 players we can't lose are Drew, Mike Thomas, Alvin Kamara, Armstead. I don't know about Armstead, bro. I don't know. I was with you on the rest of them, Sean. You know me and you here, bro. But I don't know about Armstead because the only thing they're going to do is kick Pete out there, put Ramczyk one side, kick Pete out the left tackle, and keep the ship moving. So I don't know about Armstead, but the rest of them, Cam, Lattimore, and Demario Davis. Yeah, I don't know about but I would kind of ask you a question about Armstead. That's the only one, but I agree with you. St. Dada said I was at camp earlier. Lloyd's, now if we had Juju Smith-Schuster, then it would be different. Come on, Lloyd. Sweatman, what's happening, baby? Hey, what's the instrumental used around that? You know what? Sweat, man, I'm a get the family because they put it together for me. And I asked him the other day. He said he was gonna look it up. He didn't give me the answer for it, but I promise you, I'm gonna have that answer for you. I'm gonna get that to you, and I'm gonna shoot it to you. You guys, I think you sent a question about it on the previous podcast. I'm gonna get the answer for you and shoot it to you because I know you like you like that song. But I don't think it's it ain't no it isn't any artist that's out right now. It's just a guy that done some instrumentals for us, and that done some instrumentals that's out there. But I'll give you the man's name. I'll make sure they get that name for you because I know you've been asking about it. Let's see. Sean says I snuck in the chat to hear Mike Thomas nonsense. Pay that man. Yep. Swagman said pay the man. Crass, what's up, Sean? Let's see. Glenn says I'll be at training camp Thursday. My sign will say "Make it happen, Mickey." Yeah, there you go, Glenn. Let old Mickey Mouse know. You know, put the Mickey Mouse on there, Glenn. Says "Make it happen, Mickey Mouse Loomis." Make it happen, Mickey Mouse. Put that on there, Glenn. No, don't do that, Glenn. They might take your sign and throw it away, something like that. They might kick you out of there. Don't do it. Crass says, who stood out at camp? Adrian, I already gave her a shout out. D. Orleans, are there any standouts at camp today? Not yet, baby. They went practicing earlier today. They had actually, I'll give you an update right now. They have a video that's out with Drew Brees throwing a deep pass to Cyril Grayson. Looked really good. He dropped the pass down to him. And a few observations. Matter of fact, let's go over that. Let's break it down right quick. Maybe we can go over it right now. Some of the observations. It said Mike Thomas and running back Javaris Allen were not on the field, obviously. It's saying starting linebacker A.J. Klein was observed on the practice field. Vince Bader took Klein's place with the first team. Thomas continued his absence. Keith Kirkwood is playing opposite of Ted Ginn Jr. That's very interesting. But Keith Kirkwood is filling in for while Mike Thomas is out. That's a story underneath a story, family. If you think about it. When Mike Thomas out, the Saints went with Keith Kirkwood as the other wide receiver opposite of Ted Ginn Jr. How about that? For our people that forgot about, we got Emmanuel Butler, we got Sammy Cobbs. But where are our Keith Kirkwood guys? Where are our Keith Kirkwood guys at? Nickel watch. The Saints stuck to a 4-3. But Saturday, that was on the first day, but the Saints showed some nickel packages where P.J. Williams and Patrick Robinson headlined the competition. They said that the Saints rolled out the nickel package with starting units. Williams was on the field defending against the slot wide receivers. Outside men were Marshawn Lattimore and Eli Apple. They said Robinson drew repetitions with the second team defense along with rookie Chauncey Gardner-Johnson and Chris Campbell, who is a backup defensive back. The third cornerback for the Saints could be viewed as a position where they're looking at the 2018 season where the Saints opened up the 16 regular season games with a 5 defensive back look. Of those 8 games, 7 came with 3 cornerbacks on the field with 2 safeties. So the Saints could be posturing to keep more than 5, maybe 6 cornerbacks because of the way they want to employ some of those nickel packages or dime packages and different packages that Dennis Allen likes to employ. But P.J. Williams, man, the Saints looking at P.J. Williams. Of course, yesterday we had some Kevon Webster sighting, but they do that to kind of get it. I wouldn't be really big about the P.J. Williams thing. They're giving them opportunity, but I wouldn't be that excited about that. Now, the rotation watch, Saints are sticking true with the word of rotating the centers. They're saying who's the best one. Eric McCoy, Cameron Tom, and Nick Eason are starting unit while searching for max replacement. They're giving everybody an opportunity to try to see what they can do in the position. Cameron Tom took the majority of snaps on Saturday with the first team offense during 11-on drills. Friday they did that. McCoy took his turn on Saturday. Tom operated under center with the second team while Easton was at right guard. Second-year pro Will Clapp drew most of the third team reps. And when the pads come on, look for the competition to heat up when you consider the Saints likely to want to settle the center position sooner than later. I still say the man is Eric McCoy. And then adjusting the throwing platform, Drew Brees showed Saturday why he's one of the NFL's top quarterbacks with a nifty throw during an indoor 11-on-11 drill. The pocket collapsed around him and in danger of taking a snap. Drew could have easily thrown away the ball. Instead, he saw Latavius Murray open in the flat, dropped his hip with a slight bend to his knees, and fired a perfect sidearm throw to Murray, which was pretty good. Drew showing what he can do, a little slide and moving by the old Drew. Now, about the defense, the interior defense on Saturday, Coach Payton said it was unlikely for the starting tackle Sheldon Rankins, who's still suffering from that, recovering from the torn Achilles tendons that he suffered against the Philadelphia Eagles, that they're looking for as possible replacement for the meanwhile. Now, Malcolm Brown continued to line up alongside David Onyemata with the inside with the first defense, but the Saints also have to prepare for Onyemata's one-game suspension. Could be Ziggy Hood being there for one game before they move him. Mario Edwards Jr. and Sylvester Williams, the guys we talked about, formed the interior tandem with the second-team defense on Saturday, and one will eventually emerge as a favorite to start alongside Brown when the season opens if Rankins are back. So we seeing Mario Edwards and Sylvester Williams on the inside. A lot of people saying Mario Edwards Jr. could play outside. He can play outside, but the Saints ain't brought Mario Edwards Jr. here for that. Sylvester Williams, who's a guy that I like a lot, he's a nose tackle who you can't move the guy, and they had Mario Edwards and him teamed together. Very interesting. Okay, Emmanuel Butler is showing off today in Camp family. Butler turning heads again. He flashed his hands in catch radius during an 11-on-11 drill with the second team offense. He ran a short route across the defense, came open. Bridgewater spotted the rookie, threw what appeared to be a high pass, but Butler didn't break concentration, extended fully without breaking stride or leaving the ground to snatch the ball out of there. Just snatched the ball out there. The catch made up for an earlier drop when he couldn't haul in the deep pass between two defenders, and Butler is certainly worth keeping an eye on. So 6'4", 220 pounds, really good at catching the ball. The guy is a talented player, not much on speed, but everybody looking out for him. Speaking about speed, probably one of the fastest guys on the team, not named Ted Ginn Jr., Cyril Grayson. Now, in an indoor session provided by the most excitement since everybody loves the big plays, the Saints offense provided one against the starting defense on the 11-on-11 drill. Breeze took a snap, slightly rolled to his right before planning to survey the field. He found Cyril Grayson streaking down the middle of the field with Apple in pursuit, and Drew unleashed a pretty deep ball and hit Grayson in stride for a big gain down the field. Now, Grayson he faced a lot of competition at wide receiver. His ability to stretch the field will be hard to ignore if he consistently make plays. But the Saints are not trying Cyril Grayson, as I'm understanding right now, at the kick return game, which is if he's going to make the team, it has to be as a contributor on the special teams in some form or fashion. Okay, so if we can understand that, and get that understood, perhaps we could see Cyril Grayson in a role where he helps out in the special teams. Maybe he could slide in there. But like I said, man, when we talk about Emmanuel Butler, we talk about Keith Kirkwood, we talk about Sammy Cobbs Jr., we talk about LaJordan Humphreys, we talk about all these, Cyril Grayson, Deontay Harris, all these tremendous wide receivers. Saints are deep at the wide receiver room, and this is really awesome. Now, that's the focus. That is the breakdown on what happened today at training camp, family. I hope y'all got your feel on that, but that's live breakdown of what transpired today at day 2 of camp, Saints camp. So like we said, they moved indoors because of the rain, and we just heard some thundering out here. So I can understand them getting their ass out that thunder and getting somewhere where they can get something done. And that's the answer to your question, D. I hope that helps you. Crest, anyone in the chat attended Saints camp? Jerome, nobody don't care what he makes. As long as we can sign everyone else, I'm good. At RT, cornerback, running back, have money left over, I'm good. Saints gonna make it, man. Mickey Mouse Loomis is a master at. We made a joke about it. Mickey Mouse Loomis, he's a master at coming up with the big plays, coming up with the way to kind of graph contracts together to make sure the Saints kind of kick salary down the road so it don't paralyze its team. That's something Mickey Mouse is really good at. The Saints are really focused on improving their drafting. I don't know if a lot of people realize that, but that is a inexpensive way that a team can build quality depth by using the draft. So the Saints acquire draft picks making smart signings in the free agent period to address certain needs and moving forward. Like they signed Larry Warford, gave Larry Warford a good deal. He's been a solid player for the right guard position since he came from Detroit. Solid pickup, put him right next to Ryan Ramczyk. The Saints drafted him out of Wisconsin. You had Max Unger there. Max Unger retires. You put in Eric McCoy, move up to a couple of spots in the second round this year to get Eric McCoy. Got Andrews Pete, was a former first-round offensive tackle who the Saints then moved from right tackle to left tackle, then right guard to left guard, and ultimately that's where he sits at left guard, and he's a pretty good one. Left tackle is Teron Armstead. That guy was, a 4th-round draft pick out of Arkansas Pine Bluff, and you turn him into an elite-level offensive tackle. See, that's what I'm saying about the Saints, having the ability to take draft picks and build them into something fantastic. Alizé Mack is going to be another one. 7th-round draft pick, tight end out of Notre Dame. Going to be a contributor. Practice, and then what is the Saints really excellent at, too? After the draft over with, the Saints are one of the best team in locating undrafted talent. When the college free agents hit after the draft, the Saints always seem to get the best college free agents. They've been doing that for the last several seasons. They've been excellent at that. So what I'm saying is the Saints they're gonna always look to find depth and help on this team. As long as they have that mentality, they can afford to pay some of the guys that reach elite level talent. They know what Thomas brings. They know what Drew brings. They're going to have to pay Alvin Kamara. They're going to have to pay Marshawn Lattimore. They're going to pay Sheldon Rankins, although Sheldon got hurt, that can work in their favor. But ultimately what I'm saying is that you have core members of the team that will get paid, that will have salaries north of $12 million a season. It's just what it is. You're going to have some guys that average anywhere between $15 to $30 million. Drew Brees is over $30 million. He's the highest paid guy you got. So you're going to have some talent you're going to have to pay. Ryan Ramczyk, you're going to have to pay Ryan Ramczyk if you want to keep him. So these are the things. These are the breaks of drafting well and having success in the draft, which is not a bad thing, by the way. Says Sammy Cobbs did to me today. Let's see. Crash says, if that's good to hear, his game up. Jay, what's up, Jay? Sometimes you got to ask how much is Breeze and how much Breeze and how much of it is Thomas. Graham was a perennial All-Pro with Breeze. Without him, he was a bum. Yeah, but it's a different system, though, Jay. It's a different system altogether. When you move from Sean Payton's wide open scheme to what Pete Carroll was operating with Russell Wilson out there in Seattle, it's a different thing. And most of the times, too, it's fits. Mike Thomas is a guy, you can plug him in any system, and he'll have success. Any system. It don't make a difference where you put him in. He will have success in it. You could put him with Pittsburgh, and he'll have the same success as a guy like Juju Smith-Schuster. He'll have success anyway because he can catch. He don't let you hold on to him. He can block. He's smart. He knows how to get open. He knows how to trick and fool cornerbacks who are dumb. The cornerbacks that he know how to look them off. He's the guy is a great wide receiver. He's one of the elite. He's one of the elite. That's like us thinking in our heads, well, I wonder what Julio Jones would look like if he wasn't playing the Atlanta offense, huh? Julio Jones would have success in anybody's offense. You could put him up there in the Jets offense and have success. The same with Michael Thomas. It's a gift. It's a gift. You're looking at a great. This is what greatness is. You're looking at somebody who's good or great at what they do. It takes a lot to be great. And those guys are willing to pay the tab. But when the bill come due, you got to take care. You got to pay them. Okay, fam, let's keep it going. A lot of stuff here. Sean says, got to protect Drew's blind side of the game's over. He's not a mobile QB. No, he's most certainly not a mobile QB. I agree with you. Fixer D Fixes. What's up, baby? Just signing, join the stream. Peace to the family. Who that, baby? What's good, nation? We all gravy, baby. Good to hear you. Good to see you on the stream. Dada says we need to be chatting about how Armstead making millions but not able to stay on the field, and Thomas should get his money. We talked about that. Hey, Dada, we been talking about that. If you listen to the previous podcast, and I know you do, I've been the guy championing the thing about Teron Armstead. It's two things the family know I'm going to talk on. I'm going to talk about Andrews Pete. I'm going to talk about Teron Armstead, and I'm going to talk about you know who. And because I promised Demi that I wouldn't say his name, I'm not going to say it, but y'all know who it is. Oh, man, it's fun. Crash says, keep an eye out Chauncey Gardner-Johnson and Latavius Murray next week while at camp. Yeah, now remember, they running around. They ain't got all the pads on. They still just got helmets and just shorts and shirts. So they're going to start putting on the heavy gear, and they're going to start having contact drills. And that's when you want to start really, really focusing your Saints lens on the team to see who's really relevant, and you'll start seeing some of these guys, some of the guys that we really want to see, the Emmanuel Butlers and the Jordan Humphreys, and then on defense, the Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, Saquon Hampton. I'm interested to see what he could do. You know, and some of these other guys on the team, we'll be looking at to see what these guys could do as well. Now, and Sean said, I think CJG makes the Saints wet. He's going to allow the Saints to do a lot more nickel packages. Crash said, Cameron Tom, myself attended the same high school, Catholic High, BR. We had a few make it to the NFL. Work done. Travis Minor and Cameron Tom. Wow. And Cameron Tom with the Southern Miss, I think so too, didn't he, Crash? So, you know, that's good to have a local story like that. The man from Baton Rouge, and he plays for the Saints, man. That's pretty cool right there. Sean said, I heard about Emmanuel Butler. This means 2 days in a row. Yeah, man, everybody's got the microscope on Emmanuel Butler. Cyril Grayson is a guy people looking at him, and Deontay Harris, because they got opening in the kick return game. People want to see that. And, of course, they're talking about the center rotation. I'm interested in the fourth cornerback position behind Patrick Robinson. P.J. Williams trying to get a little burn in there. But I want to see Kevon Webster, what he can do. He's healthy. See what he can bring, because he's a veteran with a Super Bowl ring back there who should contribute as well. I'm interested in the third defensive end. My really paramount concern is the third defensive end position. Who occupies that position? You know, Saints still, in my opinion, have not addressed that position. Bringing Zeke Hood does not address the third pass rush position. I'm sorry, it does not. And then the fact that using Mario Edwards Jr., I remember his name that time, the Mario Edwards Jr. as a interior defensive lineman as opposed to a end when he's not really an end. But just, I still say it, the Saints have not addressed the third pass rush position. Maybe they're waiting on Trey Hendrickson. Maybe they're waiting on the jailed one. But either, regardless of whatever situation, the Saints still have an opening, a hole at that position. Dada says Sylvester Williams is a big dude in person. Sylvester Williams is huge. That's why I was saying when the Saints brought Sylvester Williams in here, that guy is a dude, man. You plug him in and he won't move. You take a forklift to move Sylvester Williams. You want to move Sylvester Williamson? Sylvester Williams, you put bacon grease on his shoes, at the bottom of his shoes, or you put them on skates and you push him that way, or get a forklift. That's the only way you're going to move Sylvester Williams. Let's see. The Crash said Butler hungry. Butler slowly separating himself from the other undrafted wide receivers. That's what Dada's saying. Number 32, Nebraska got work splitting time with Kamara Murray. Ones you're talking about, he's Divine Zigbo. Dada. Crash says Cyril Grayson on the third team. Any reason he can't stick? He's fast and all, but can he catch? That's the question. Is he has catch concerns, Crash, and that's what it's coming down to. He has all the speed in the world, and he's tried out with other teams with that speed, that blazing speed. But the Saints like the fact that he has that world-class speed, but the catching, you know, if you want to bring him on, what else could he do besides be a fifth wide receiver on your team? Can you bring him in? Can he kick return for you? Can he help out in the punt return game? That's Cyril Grayson's value to the team. Anything else is he won't make the team. Deontay Harris will beat him out, and Deontay Harris is very fast too. He's another very fast wide receiver. Just don't have that world-class speed as Cyril Grayson does. Sans Dada, Butler's hungry. Crass, a smooth route runner. Catch radius. Dada says, number one, that is why I believe he will separate from Jordan Humphrey's route running ability. LaJordan is a big kid, but he has trouble getting off the line, beating press coverage. Butler has shown that he can do both effectively and consistently. Guess we'll see once he puts the pads on. That's a big thing. Now, I heard that about LaJordan having problems to get people hands off him and get off the line. And then the possible talk about him convert to a tight end. Wouldn't be bad. He'll be better than that other guy who I'm not supposed to name. He says, Humphrey looked okay, but didn't stand out to me. But I've seen Sammy Cobbs make a hell of a catch out, stretch out for a catch for Drew Brees to reach on it. Sammy Cobbs got to show up, man. But people are giving these guys an opportunity. Saints we want to see some really good wide receivers behind them. Now, Austin Carr, respect Austin Carr, might not make the team. Because all this young talent, you got to be looking at that young talent behind him, you know. You got to be looking at those guys. And a few other guys might not make the team. But you're looking at a guy, you want a veteran back there. Cameron Meredith is healthy. Haven't heard anything from him yet. But you got Rashard Matthews, another guy a lot of people got an opportunity to look at. Maybe he makes something happen as well. Stada says Green, number 36, DB Green was already practicing with the twos. Sean says Butler is slow, 4.75. However, he's got game speed. He's like MT, not fast, but runs routes well and uses his body to get at an advantage. Yeah, he's good at shielding you out while he makes the catch. He's a really good blocker, but he's like a possession. True possession wide receiver is what this guy is. He's a huge, nice big receiver, and you know the Saints love big wide receivers. You know, remember Brandon Coleman, the guy that just couldn't get out his own way? You know, the Saints love, Sean Payton loved big wide receivers that can catch the ball. So Emmanuel Butler, Sammy Cobbs Jr., and guys like that, LaJordan Humphrey, they get their stuff together. They might have a roster spot here. Green. Fixer D Fixit says that the third defensive end position is easily the biggest question mark. I agree 100%. We're weak right there. I've been saying that, though, Fixer D Fixit, for a while, sir. It's been going on for a while, and it's like when we talked about it when they addressed the wide receiver position, because I was talking about 3 positions on the Saints that needed help, 3 of them. The first of the 3 I talked about was the third wide receiver position, which was Cameron Meredith, who's the third wide receiver, who's a slot man. They was talking about Traquan Smith. I was telling them Traquan Smith's not a slot man. He's more of a guy that would line up behind Ted Ginn Jr. When Ted Ginn Jr. retires or moves on to another team, Traquan Smith occupies that position. The slot man is right now the best slot man you got on the team is Rashard Matthews. You know, not to take nothing away from Keith Kirkwood, but you can't discount Rashard Matthews' veteran experience, the fact that he's been there, done that, been in positions, pressure situations, you know, that can help out. And I've always said that you need veterans in those key moments. And we had a veteran tight end last year in the big game, you know. Always go back to that, don't it? It always does. But veterans are the ones that, you know, that you got to give credit to. Like Sylvester Williams in the middle, you get Ziggy Hood here. Notice the theme is we get some veterans we can count on, guys that have been in pressurous situations that can help the team move forward. It's Super Bowl or bust this year, family. We have very little room for error. We done used up all our margin of error the last few years with these 2 games, with the Minnesota nightmare and the debacle in the dome with the Rams. We done used up all our error. We ain't got no room for error no more. This is it. You got a 40-year-old quarterback. Family, we need to make stuff like that happen ASAP. But Demi says, thank you, Jeff Ireland. Yep, big time for Jeff Ireland. Done a splendid job in building a team. Crash say I'm buying Q a Dan Otto jersey. We got a shirt coming out though, Crash, which says we did not get robbed, and it got Dan on dropping the touch. I mean, somebody got a wide receiver on the team dropping the touchdown ball. You know, it's a shirt, but it's true though, right? But I'm telling you, it's true. You got all these guys saying we got robbed, and I'm telling people, man, stop saying that. Stop saying that. You didn't get mugged. You didn't get robbed. You gave it up. Well, what do you mean we gave it up? What do I mean we gave it up? You gave it up because you had multiple times you could have won that damn game. Even Sean Payton came out and said his play calling was vanilla, and that the other guy, whatever his face was doing for it on 4th down. I mean, it was desperate. You're not going to beat if you're going against somebody and they're desperate, unless you're desperate too. You're not going to beat them. They were taking chances that the Saints refused to take. And then when you drop in passes, touchdown plays, by the way, and just say, well, the guy was undrafted. So was Garrett Griffin, who caught a touchdown in the same game. So I mean, it goes back to that because you can't make those kind of massive errors during the game. You cannot do it. I'm sorry. You know, and I appreciate the damn. You ain't gonna never see me put no damn on no you know whose jersey on me. I promise you that much, Jack. I'm still mad. Okay, let's go on here. Fixer D Fixer says, also curious what TJ Green could bring to the table. He's in that Taylor Mays mode. They got another big guy back there, another big old safety back there too that nobody really talking about. His name is Terrell Williams. And he's another guy
quarterback, running back exchange period where we're just working on football.
I don't know if he would bring if that guy would actually bring, anything to it. I would be on more of the mindset that he's a camp body. That's what I would take from the TJ Green signing. He does have size. Well, you got Terrell Williams, who's been on the team for a while, and the Saints seem to be intrigued with the big safeties. This is the second big safety that they've gotten. I mean, these guys are big. We talking 6'3" guy here and another 6'3" safety. So the Saints kind of getting that big, like that Cam Chancellor type safety. You know what I'm saying, family? You look at Marcus Williams. Even though Marcus Williams is not as big as those guys, but he does have a stature, like a big stature. Like you can see Sean Payton like in a linebacker safety mode, like with Cam Chancellor, bro. Just lay your butt out. You catch that ball, he pop the crap out of you. You know, but that's that. I don't know as far as TJ Green is concerned. I'm kind of looking more of it as a camp body, but you never know because remember TJ Gray made JT Gray. JT Gray made the team last year, and nobody was like, "Who the hell is this dude?" But he made the team, so you never know with Sean Payton. That's what makes it good too, that he's willing to, you know, take an opportunity with some of these young guys to give them a chance. And TJ was actually a pretty. He was actually a pretty decent guy. JT Gray was a pretty decent special teams player for him. So a lot of people was like, who the hell is this dude? Why is he on the team? You know, but hey, he was, and he did something right for him. He says, how you pronounce it, family? Fred, oh, I'm sorry. Fred Deflats is how you pronounce it. I'm sorry, man. It looks funny. It says fix it. Oh, okay. Fred Deflats. I'm sorry, fam. I've been butchering your name all this time, man. You just telling me the right pronunciation? Bro, you been on here. You mean to tell me you let 9 live streams go before you corrected me on your name, bro? Bro, I'm so sorry, bro. I'm sorry. I apologize. I butchered somebody else's name, too, and they told me, too. So if I butcher your name, family, you know, please forgive me. I'm looking up here. It's Fred Deflats. I'm sorry, family. You see, he got a good... I'm sorry. I apologize, man. You know, I just be going away. But, you know, yeah, man, next time tell me if I butcher your name like that, man. It's all good, family, to you. Who that, baby? Who that? Don't worry about it. I got it now. All right, it says, Dollar said, I seen Hampton play in the safety package, and I seen Bell move to free safety in the same package. Bell. Who is Bell, bro? Who is Bell? Who is Bell? What Bell you? Von Bell. Okay, I see. Yeah. I'm sorry, Von Bell. Almost forgot he was on the team because Chauncey Gardner-Johnson is looking out for him. Chauncey Gardner's like this. He's looking over his shoulder, and Chauncey right up on him. He said, I'm coming for you, player. It's Von Bell. Meredith is out. Rashard Lewis is going to be in if he don't mess up, Sean says. I agree, Sean. I agree, sir. Man, I went to Meredith. I want Meredith to succeed, but I don't believe his knee will ever be right again. Unfortunate. I agree. Hampton is the rookie, right? That's right. Saquon Hampton is the rookie. And Dada says, I've seen Meredith today on the field and looked okay. Didn't look like his knee was an issue. I seen Jared Cook drop a pass. I watched Sean Payton get on his butt. He got on Jared Cook for dropping it. He said, man, you know how much money I'm paying you? You know how much money I'm paying you, bro? And you dropped the pass, I'm paying you. We paying you what? What is they paying Jared Cook? $8 million or something? What is it? $8 million a season? What is Jared Cook making here? I got the numbers in front of me here. Let me pull it up. Jared Cook is making, he got a 2-year deal worth $15 million. Signing bonus is $6 million. $8 million of it guaranteed. And an average annual salary of $7.5 million. 7.5. You earn a base salary of $2 million and a signing bonus of $6 million while carrying a cap hit of $4 million and a dead cap value of $8 million. So there you go. So it's a 2-year deal worth $15 million. That was Sean Payton was yelling at him. Man, I'm paying you $15 million and you dropped the pass. That's what he was telling him, Dada. Sean said, want to get Q blood pressure up, bring up. Now I got to put something hard in that cup. That's all it is, bro. That's what I get. I just got to get a little something hard. I got juice in here today, man. Crash said, I'll give Cook the benefit of the doubt since he's new to the offense. By the end of camp, he'll be back in beast mode. On real talk about Cooks, just letting y'all know what I seen, bro. Crash said, my son's soccer practice, if you got to leave the chat, but love the show, Q and insight. Be well, fam. Crash, be safe, my family. Thank you, brother, for chiming in as well. And be safe on your travels, my friend, out there. in California. I think you're in Cali, huh, Crass? I think you're in Cali out there, bro. Be safe out there on them crazy people streets. You know, they drive kind of crazy out there. Just be safe anyway, family. But yes, sir. I gave family a breakdown on some of the stuff that was happening on today's camp as well. And I think that will do it for the show today, family. We done covered it all. We had a ball. We had a blast today. It's a little bit over 2 hours long. And we had a pretty good time today, despite the obvious fact that we had sound issues. Obviously, we worked that out. We stayed with it, made it work today. I'm glad you guys came aboard today on the live stream as usual. Remember, we do the live stream every Saturday at noon. And we'll make sure we get all these. Eventually, we'll run out of problems and bugs with this software. We get it together. The sound actually sounds pretty good. I don't know what the hell happened, but it just clicked and worked. See, that's how bugs work. You know, we get ironed out. But it's been a blast today. We covered a lot, family. We talked about day 1. We covered day 2. We talked about issues dealing with, of course, Mike Thomas's salary, which is always good discussion. And as always, I'd like to thank you guys for joining us here on the Sports Coma with Big Q and the Guy. As always, if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. If you know Saints family that are as great as you are, who might be interested in listening to the show, share the link. Tell them I got this guy I know. He's really good with the Saints, and we love having to talk with him. Let's have a discussion with him. Share the show with the family. Share them with the family. Also, hit the like button, family. Hit the like. Derek, thank you, Derek. Appreciate you, sir, for your donation. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Who that to you, sir? Thank you. We'll continue to use and y'all donations and gifts that you sent to the platform. You'll notice every week or every other week you'll see a constant change or improvement. We'll get a new camera. We'll add some new stuff to it. We really take your donations and we put them into the platform to empower the platform so we have a strong platform so we can be able to spread our word and our message about having the right conversation. We need somebody out here to battle the likes of Max Kellerman and Nate Burleson and Kevin Hart, a.k.a. Maurice Drones-Drew, and Bucky Brooks, or whatever his name is, or any other simpleton that got a off-brand comment about the New Orleans Saints team. Sports Coma got our backs. But hit the like button, family. Hit the bell for future notifications on the show. As always, I thank you for joining us. I thank you, Sean. Thank you, Derek. Thank you, Demi. Thank you, Dada. Thank you, Sean C. Thank you, Jay. 985J. LaShawn, thank you. Please don't leave me. I need. Thank you, LaShawn. Thank you, D. Thank y'all for tuning in, man. Do like Sean said, we need more likes, family. Hit the like button. And do another great thing that really helps the show out, family. Travels a lot further is if you take the show and you share it on your social media. I know a lot of you family out there like Instagram or Twitter or Facebook. Please feel free to take the shows and share them on your feeds. And, and like and whatnot, that helps the show travel as well. And we get more great Saints family like yourself to the live streams and the podcast as well. So, like I said, I'd like to thank you guys once again for joining us. And we, as always, man, it's coming down. Family is going down. It's coming down to the big time, family. We're going to put the Saints coming up. They're going to put the pads on. We're getting closer and closer to preseason. And then in a little while, it'll be September, and it'll be time for the big time, the big games. Yes. But thank y'all, man, for joining us on the Sports Coma. Y'all have a beautiful Saturday afternoon. Peace to the family. Who that to you too, Gary, Sean, Adrian. Thank you, family. Peace.